You're listening to the Chronicles of Livin podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk.
Greetings, my visionary dreamers. I try to get better every time. Hold my little notes. I'm getting my breath up from my jogging every day, you know. So what's going on, my visionary dreamers? Today is Let's Talk Sunday, and you are listening to ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And this is Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know, it's extraordinary folk doing a damn thing the best way we can. And to the newcomers out there, welcome. Thank you for tuning in and listening. And just real brief, this show is just about real stuff, real life situations, real things we deal with. And I just come on and just pray about it and ask God to just speak whatever words that need to be spoken to all the listeners for motivation, for inspiration, for education, you know, anything that you can walk away with that's going to push you to become a better version of yourself. That's what the show is all about. To my veterans, y'all already know the deal. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know what's up with the girl. Okay? So, without further ado, the title of the show today is The Biggest Enemy is Us. Straight to the point. The biggest enemy is us, y'all. Let's face it. You know, we throw that word enemy around. Oh my God, girl, child. Enemy was busy today. You know what happened? Let me tell you, my whole day was all jacked up. The enemy was at work. How many times have you heard that? I mean, I used to say it a lot myself until I had to wake up and own up to myself. You know what I mean? And I still work every day at it. Like, to the newcomers out there, I make it a point to say that these shows are not just for you. They're for me too, because the topics just come out of the air. I don't, so it's obviously something that I need to hear as well. So what do I mean by the biggest enemy is us? Us as individually. Us as, excuse me, y'all, if y'all heard that burp. Us as, we tend to self-sabotage ourselves and opportunities and, maybe situations, relationships, partnerships, jobs, careers, whatever it is. Every now and then, we can get in our own way. And that's when we can become the biggest enemy to ourselves. And then how it is that we become the biggest enemy is because we don't want to hold ourselves accountable. We don't want to, take on the responsibility that we actually caused this situation to happen. Okay? We got to have somebody to point the finger at. And if y'all scroll down, way down, I have a show called Own Your Shit, something like that, and Stop Pointing the Finger. I remember having these topics, but here we are coming back to it again. Last week's show was about I think I can, and I know I can, and I can. And now God put on my heart to talk about this. And a lot of times, shows will be connected, but God will speak things through me in a different way. Maybe so that if you didn't get it the last show, maybe you'll get something to click this show. I guess that's the purpose, okay? So just roll with me here. So let's take, for example, y'all know I like to talk about some shows or some movies to kind of give you an example. So my son and I, we're watching this Netflix series. We always find one called Ozark. So this is a perfect example of the whole biggest enemy is us. So I'm not going to tell you all about the show. I don't want to poop it, but This is a good show. Y'all should tune into it. So there's this character, this girl in the show, right? Named Ruth. And she comes from a family of, they live in a trailer park, and, so their mindset, and that's not, no shots against anybody living in a trailer park, because I'm in Georgia and trailer parks are the bomb out here, some of them. But nevertheless, they're outside of the suburbs, okay? So let's say that. And so this family grew up with a mentality that basically they have to take to get what it is that they need for themselves and to take care of their family. They had jobs, but they still felt the need to take from people. Their mentality is that the only way we're going to get ahead is if we take from people, okay? So follow me. So Ruth, there was a new person, the star of the show that come into town. I want to give y'all everything, but long story short, he had money. He had money, and they were staying at a hotel, and this is how they actually wound up meeting each other. His family was staying at a hotel. His name is Marty in the story, and they had a lot of money. They were moving and starting a new life. She was working at the hotel. Ruth stole the money. It's a lot of money. He found out where Ruth was, got with the family, and basically in that conversation, because this man was pretty shrewd and he used his brain to get out of situations, he got his money back. But within that whole situation, somehow him and Ruth wound up becoming partners in different ways in business, because he acknowledged that she was just as shrewd, but she had the street savvy as well, because when they negotiated the deal about him giving back his money, through that conversation, he saw that she basically was the forefront of the family. Even though she was young, she was the only female, but she was quick with it. She knew her stuff. She knew how to negotiate. So instead of him looking at it and saying, okay, this is a family that has, that's just a bunch of, no-gooders or whatever, he looked at the potential that he saw in her and thought to himself, wow, I need to keep her close. And as it went along, he realized that she wound up becoming very valuable to him. Now, where the story turns and where this whole enemy, the biggest enemy is us, is at certain points of the show, Ruth gets in her own way and almost self-sabotages the situation, because she lets her family start getting in her ear and telling her, oh, using their last name, like you're going to always be this. And then her father was locked up. He gets out of jail. And he's telling her, like, you're always going to be, I think it's a Langmore or whatever, the last name. And the way we are is we're cursed and we're this and we're that. And then she didn't want to believe that. But yet, this is her father. So she's like, she's torn. But yet here she has Marty on this side that's believing in her and that's believing that she's smarter than where she was and trying to help her go further. The enemy comes in and keeps tampering with her brain and keeps tampering with her thoughts. And so she becomes unbalanced. And I'm using this story, y'all know, if you follow the show, I use different stories, whether it's a movie, whether it's me, whether it's somebody, a friend or whatever like this. But I just thought this was the perfect person to use, because this girl is so smart. She really is. But because of her background, because of her family attachments, it's like she could lose everything if she decides to turn backwards, all because her family keeps trying to pull her back in when she's so much further and she wants to get her family out. That's her plan. She wants to get her family out. You know what I mean? So this is how we can become the biggest enemy to ourselves. We tend to let our subconscious take over from time to time instead of letting our conscious stay in the forefront. And what the difference is this: whatever's in your subconscious, whatever you've been told throughout the years, whatever people spoke into your spirit, into your soul over and over and over again, whatever people have always thought about you as being, it can become a challenge to defeat that. It really can. And I can say it too, because I've had certain stages in my life where I had to defeat certain mentalities, certain mindsets, and so that I wouldn't repeat certain things or certain ways of doing things and certain beliefs and self-sabotage opportunities for myself. You get what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, like, I have a son, so it's like I had to constantly fight myself from time to time. Every time things didn't go well and I had to move. If you new to the show, I've moved over like 50 something times from youth to now. That's a whole nother show. But I had to learn how to, each time I move, talk to myself and say, you know what? It happened. You get what I'm saying? And own, okay, now let me look at, why did this happen this time? Okay, what can I do to better so the next time it won't happen again? You get what I'm saying? Like, I had to, each time, own it, take the responsibility, and look at myself. Look at what I did. Look at what I didn't do, so that the next time it'll be better. What did I get out of this journey? What did I learn from that move? Who are the people that I connected to? What did I gain from those people? What did they gain from me? Why was I there? Like, literally just go down a list so that I can hold myself accountable, so that I can know that I'm not going to blame this on the enemy. Okay, because the enemy exists as long as we make the enemy exist. At the end of the day, that's what it is. You get what I'm saying? Now, I get that, you know, they say bad things happen to good people. Yes, it is true. But the thing is, those bad things so-called happen to teach us, to help us build our character, to help us get stronger in our faith, to help us get stronger in our walk. And when I say I walk, I'm not talking like on a holy tip. I'm talking I walk towards our purpose in life, our walk towards our assignment and why we are actually here. You know, our whole existence. I walk in learning who we are and what we're actually capable of. That is why challenges come our way. That is why obstacles come our way. And whatever obstacle that you face over and over again is a part of your purpose, whether you realize it or not. Me moving so many times is a part of my purpose. You know what I mean? And I've really had to learn that so that I can own it. So that I could go back and find all the good nuggets out of each and every last move, you know? Because if I didn't do that, right by then I'd be in a straitjacket, okay? I really would. A lot of my friends, they like, I don't know how you do it. Like, how do you just do it? How do you just pick up from a fall and just start all over? And each time I start all over, I believe in my heart I become better and better and better. Rather it's just the way I do things, the way I get back, how fast I get back on my feet, or just even my mentality, my belief in myself, my, you know, like, yesterday, me and my son, we were out all day yesterday, and one of our stops was my cousin's house, and we were having a conversation, and we were talking about, like, far as me moving back to Georgia. If you're new to the show, I just moved back to Georgia. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. But anyway, me transferring from having an accident, a car accident, my car getting totally totaled, having to move, leave pretty much everything, start all over from scratch, back to Georgia, no job, no place, no car, no nothing. And we were talking about all the steps that I went through to get to where I'm at now. Like, I literally went from staying with my cousin for about 2 months, little 2 months. But within them 2 months, I had to get a whole new vehicle with no job, you know what I mean, with the little bit of money I had. And I wound up getting actually a better vehicle than I had that got totaled. And lower whole $100 savings on insurance. But I actually had to get a vehicle. Then I had to find a job, which it never really worked out the way I wanted to. So I just stuck with what I already do, my notary signings and my entrepreneurship stuff. You get what I'm saying? To make money. And I had to find a place, you know? And when I first found the place, because I wasn't all the way on my feet, I had to choose like, okay, my priorities. My priorities was pay the rent, pay, the car. Those are the two first priorities because I got to get around and I got to live. I got to have shelter, right? So I literally went like 4 months with no water. I went 4 months with just a blow up bed, you know what I'm saying? With no heat on in the winter. I went 4 months for that because I did not choose to say, well, the enemy is busy. I just can't find a job. And you know what I'm saying? I didn't do that. I said, okay, what do I have? What am I working with right now? Okay, this is what I'm working with. All right, this is what I'm going to take care of. This is what is a priority. Okay, it's just me. You know what? I could tough it out. It's all good. You know what I mean? Listen, back in the day, they didn't have this comfortability. And I know it's going to get greater. So I had to keep my mindset on it's going to get greater. I have a really nice place, and I have a nice vehicle, and I have shelter, and I got food, and you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to do that. I could stay with my cousin until I got everything off. I could have did that. But the bottom line, well, no, actually I couldn't because we made an agreement. Oh, matter of fact, he was selling his house, so I couldn't do that. So I had to go. That's why I had to go. Anyway, but I could have even said that, oh my gosh, the enemy is taking so long. And no, the problem is this, guys. When we do that and we constantly say, girl, or dude, or boy, whatever, I just had a bad day. I don't know, the devil must be busy. The enemy is busy. When we do that, what happens is this. We don't take accountability. We don't want to be responsible for what's going down. And again, like I said, things happen that's not in our control. A lot of things will happen throughout life that's not in our control. Or a lot of people will come in our lives and they will be disappointing or they will hurt us or, you know what I'm saying? Or things will happen that maybe we look back and we say, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I'm ashamed or I regret that or whatever like that. But the bottom line is this. It's in the past. So what does the past mean? You can't change it, right? You can't change it. But you got today, you got tomorrow, and you got whatever. As long as God gives you breath from day to day, you get a chance to start anew. You get a chance to start a new beginning every day. Every day. That is the amazing thing about life. We get a chance to choose every day how we want our day to start, how we want to feel that day, who we want to be around that day. We know people, okay? We know people and we know how being around certain people make us feel. We know this, okay? So you have the chance to choose every day. Do I want to go around Beverly? I don't know where these names come from. Do I want to go around Beverly every day? Because Beverly, man, she complained. Even though Beverly is ring your phone and Beverly is like, listen, I really need to talk to you, ADionne. I really need to talk to you. You're the only person that, understand me or overstand me or whatever. But guess what? I might not want to be dealing with Beverly that day because I already know how the story going to go. I already know Beverly is one of those people be like, girl, the enemy was busy today and oh my gosh, this went wrong and that went wrong and then start complaining and all that. But then I'm in a great mood. Why would I want to go sit with Beverly to bring myself down? See, now I'm becoming my own enemy because I'm going to go over there and sit with somebody that I know could possibly change my mood. She might not be the person that I can affect with my joy. Because some people just like to sit in a pity. I'm sure y'all all met those type of people. Some people just like to sit in their pity. Some people just like to say to themselves, when something good comes in their life, somebody good comes in their life, some good opportunity comes in their life, they will sit with themselves and convince themselves that they don't deserve it. Biggest enemy. They're the biggest enemy. They'll convince themselves they don't deserve it. They'll convince themselves they're not a good person. They'll convince themselves all what? Because of maybe some things in the past, maybe some things that's in their subconscious that people put in their head. Oh, you're not good enough for that. You're not good enough for that person. You're not good enough for that opportunity. So don't even set yourself up for failure, girl, dude. Don't set yourself up for failure. And then there you go listening like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that is kind of above my grade. That is above my level. Yeah, I better just stay right here. I better just stick with what I know. I better just hang around who's just like me, You're your biggest enemy when you do that. I was talking to one of my homegirls today, and, she just said to me out the blue, she was like, thank you for being my friend. And automatically when she said that, I started thinking about that song, thank you for being my friend. Like, the Golden Girls way back in the day. And we just bust out laughing. And she said, and I don't want to mess up the way she said it, but basically she was saying, she was thanking me for being her friend because she said she's glad to have a friend that's not like her. Meaning like, she understands the contrast that we have. And while we're different people, we are like-minded people. Like we want the same things in life ultimately. Like our goals is to become better versions of ourselves, and that is the number one goal of both of us. Our goal is to figure out our main purpose in this time, space, reality. Our goal is to be kind to people. Our goal is to be kind to ourselves. Our goal is to figure out who we truly are and to just walk in it with excellence. That's our goals. Those are the like-minded qualities that we have. You get what I'm saying? But she's more of a laid-back person. I'm more of a go-getter. I'm more ambitious. I'm more, she's aggressive in her own light, in her own way. But I'm aggressive, like, I'm pit bull aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So, but she appreciates that about me because there are times throughout her life that, I was able to come in and be aggressive in a loving way and help her to pick herself up. And there were times in my life that we've talked and she was able to come in with her level of kindness and the way she, address things and talk me, down off the ledge, whatever, not off the ledge as in self-destruction, but maybe because I like to venture out in so many different ways. I like to do so many different things. I have so many different ideas. And because she's learned me throughout the years, there's times that I was able to just run some things past her or whatever like that. So this is what I'm saying. When she said that to me, I was like, yo, I said, I'm going to definitely use that today for some inspiration because people fail to realize that she was like, I never want to have a bunch of friends that's just like me. I was like, wow, that's deep, but it's so true. Why do you want to have a bunch of friends that's just like you? They say when you have a bunch of friends, you look at your top 5 friends. If they just like you, or if you are the one that's more of a go-getter than them, you're never going to grow, period. You're just not. Like, you're going to cap out. You're going to grow, but you're going to cap out. You're going to cap out. And you will never see your fullest potential in this time-space reality until you're willing to change. Because that's the thing that's inevitable in life. Life, every day changes. Why do you think God made 4 seasons? Okay? Well, we have 4 seasons, not every country. But why do you think it's 4 seasons? If there wasn't 4 seasons, if we didn't have the spring, the winter, the fall, and all of that stuff, how would the grass grow and the flowers bloom and we have different types of vegetables for different seasons, different types of fruits for different seasons. You get what I'm saying? That's all due to change. It's all due to change. When the winter comes, everything dies. Everything dies, and, certain animals hibernate. And then when the weather changes, it all starts over again. We have a brand new chance at life. We have a brand new chance to see things, It's like we look at what's going on now, and I see the time is going on. We look at what's going on now in the United States, and, between this whole COVID, between the whole lockdown, between the whole, this chaos with the police brutality and the protesting and the vandalizing and all of this stuff. Guess what? If we all take accountability for ourselves and we all really look at ourselves and address the things that we have within us that are deeply embedded, that is not for our higher good, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, that's not for our higher good, the things that we need to release, the things that we need to let go of, then a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening. If we all individually did that, then guess what? The cops that was beaten, that basically killed that dude, George Floyd, if they would all address their own internal anger issues or abuse issues or neglect issues, because obviously they got bully issues, whatever issue, they had some issues in order for them to do that unhumane act in broad daylight at that, especially the one, the head person. He got deep-rooted issues that he has never addressed as a grown, all the way up until a grown man. And it came out on George Floyd. That's what happens, guys. When we don't address the things and we keep saying it's the enemy's fault, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, but we don't take a look at ourselves and we don't address the things that we can fix within ourselves, then what happens? One day, an episode, I pray that it wouldn't be like you trying to kill somebody, but one day an episode will happen that you will self-sabotage something in your life that you will look back and you will regret for the rest of your life. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Yes, things are for us to learn from. Things are for us to grow from. But sometimes we could self-sabotage blessings that God is literally just handing to us right in our lap. Right in our lap. That can just change our life forever for the better. You know what I mean? That could just let us have a whole 360. But because we choose to be an enemy to ourselves, we can't see it. We can't see it. We can't see it. We can't even comprehend it. Sometimes we could be in a whole lifestyle or a position that we feel like nothing but bad things happen to me. Sometimes we can feel that way. Sometimes we can feel like every time I get ahead, God damn, I take 5 steps back. I know this because I've been there. So I can speak it. I've been there. It's been plenty of times in my life where I worked really, really hard and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I'm really working hard at this, and why is it not, coming to fruition? Why is things just falling apart more than it's coming together when I'm not sitting on my ass? I'm really doing the work, But I had to learn that it's a lot of times when things don't go your way, sometimes, or when you don't, the thing that you're pushing for the most and the thing that you're working hard at the most, when it don't flow the way you want it to flow, that's because maybe God just wants you to do something different. Maybe God wants you to change your mindset. Maybe, it's time for you to do something different. Maybe it's time for you to do something do that same thing with different people, or maybe it's time for you to put it on the back burner for a minute, and maybe it's time for you to just totally go on a whole different route. You know what I'm saying? When I was talking to my friend today, my homegirl today, we were talking about that. Now we just had a full moon in the 5th of June. We just had a full moon. When the full moon comes, it's the energy of a completion. Some of the things that you've been working on, or the projects, whatever in your life, can come to a full completion. And yesterday, I linked back up with some great people, that I did business with some years ago on the music tip. And it was just like, wow, like it was just an exciting day. Like I literally haven't seen them since I think it was 2009. Yeah, 2009. And God just put it on my heart, 11 o'clock at night, 3 days ago, to call them. And I'm like, let me text. I text. I'm like, yo, is this still, this Livin? They know me by Livin. Y'all know I got many names. This is Livin. It's like, yo, yeah, Then come to find out, they brought a restaurant and they, invited me and my son down and we had a great time. It just was awesome. All because I listened to that little voice, which I get very much, and I work hard at not going crazy with it. But I listened, and I just was like, wow, after all this time, he just popped up in my head, He used to be one of my producers, and his wife did my photos, and she's still doing photographs, and he's still, doing music, even though they have their restaurant and everything, they're still doing their creative talents. And so I'm like, yo, I got a podcast, I have a TV show. They was like, let's do it. Like, there we go. Just one freaking day. Like, just one freaking little, I paid attention to my intuition. And I didn't say, oh, no, this has been a long time. They probably, I didn't talk myself out of it. I was like, oh, yeah, let me just see what happened. And now it's going to be on. I feel so good. I feel so good about this reconnection right around the full moon, the completion. But that was a situation that years ago I had to walk away from because other things that was going on in my life called for my attention, where I had to relocate back to Pennsylvania. And I thought it was dead and gone. That our connection. I thought that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I'm moving on to other things in life. And through those years, a lot has happened. But nevertheless, because it's meant to be, it came full circle. And so I'm going to leave y'all with this. Sometimes God will make certain situations or certain things that you're working on, make it come to a halt, which has been my life. I've had a whole lot of projects that I had to put on a shelf. You know what I'm saying? And you might not know why. You might not know why certain things is just not moving the way you want it to move, and you're working real hard at it, and you just really can't see the big results from it. I'm going to say to you, check what you're doing, how you're doing it, who you're doing it with. You hear what I'm saying? Because if any one of those components is not for your higher good, then maybe you might want to rethink and you might want to just readjust. See, because when we start looking at ourselves and we start looking at the situation as is, and we start realizing, like, you know what, for real, I'm fooling myself. This whole, what I'm doing, I'm not doing it to my best ability. I know I need to gain more knowledge. Or either who I'm working with, they are not the best person to work with. They really don't have my best interest. Or who I am in a relationship with, this person is just not, I'm not growing with this person. This person is they just stagnant, and they're causing me to make myself stagnant. And I'm just settling. Or why am I still holding on to, stuff that happened 50 years ago when I can't change the crap, and I'm still feeling bad about it every time I think about it? Like, what happens is you don't want to own up to it, because then when you own up to it, that means now you got to become responsible and you got to make changes. You got to make changes with your thought process. You got to make changes with your mindset. You got to make changes with the way you do things, or who you do it with. You might even have to just start a whole new company over. I had to start over, get a whole new company name a couple times. But see, we don't want to do that because we look at that as, that's hard work. Hey, I'm comfortable. Everything flowing. No, it's not. Stop cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself. When you become your own enemy, you are cheating yourself. For whatever it is that you becoming your own enemy about, you're cheating yourself. That's it. Bottom line. It's like I watch people be loyal to people that they know not loyal to them because they're comfortable, because they know that person, because they're, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. It sounds crazy, but sometimes people will do that. People will stay in relationships because they're comfortable, because they know that person, even though they know that relationship is not healthy for them. You know what I mean? People will continue to eat the same types of food because they're comfortable. They're comfort foods when they know the foods are not good for them. The foods are not good for their health. The foods are making them gain weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that we do, guys, that makes us become our biggest enemy. And then we wonder why shit don't go the way we want it to go. We work at the same job. When we know we hate the job, we know we don't even fool with the people there. We just go there to get a paycheck. We hate the job, but we just go there because why? Because we got bills to pay. We're our biggest enemy because why? We're closing ourselves off to greater opportunities that we can have. We can have another job. We can even start our own job. You know what I'm saying? We can get into a career. We can go and take a course, a crash course, or get a certification. It's easier now. We could go online and get a certification for something as opposed to going back to school for a couple of years. But you stay there because you're comfortable. And you wonder why you're miserable all day until you get home. Then when you're home, you're tired, you're drained because you're miserable because you don't like the damn job to start with. So now when you're home, you just pooped out mentally. You get what I'm saying? Like, we got to start self-assessing ourselves, like, and really looking like, why am I still dealing with the same person when I know this person is not loyal to me? I know this person is holding me back from becoming the best version of myself. I know I could be doing more. I know I could be doing more. I know I could have more. I know there are people out there in this world that I can meet that can challenge me to become a better version of myself. If I eliminate the fear, if I eliminate the shame of my past, if I eliminate the willingness, the unwillingness to change. We have to change, guys. That's the way God designed it. If we don't change, it's like, what is your life for at the end of the day? What you here for? What are you here for? Seriously, ask yourself, what am I here for? If you are willing to settle in your life where you are and you're not reaching for more, what the hell are you here for? Why are you taking up this space on this earth? Why are you taking up the air? Somebody else can be here reaching for more, trying to do more, trying to be better, to inspire others. You get what I'm saying? So I'll leave y'all with that. Stop being your own enemy. Stop being your biggest enemy. Stop blaming stuff on the enemy. Okay? Because you are the enemy. How about that? I know some people won't have something to say about that, but hey, I'm just keeping it real. I don't make these titles up, okay? I really don't. And I don't know what the heck I'll be saying when I be saying it. It's just be coming out. So, hey, don't get mad at me, all right? So, with that being said, I hope y'all really get something out the show every time you listen. And definitely thank you for sharing. Thank everybody that tuned into the summit, self-accountability. But I'm going to post that on my own stuff as well. So I'll keep y'all posted when I put that workshop together. Okay, guys? So thank you for purchasing the books, Visionary Dreamer, 90-Day Journal, and Transform Your Life. Discover Your Purpose off Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. Just put in a box April ADionne Williams, ADionne, and definitely search out Chronicles of Living if you want to listen to other platforms on iHeart and Apple Podcasts. Just search Chronicles of Living without the G, Livin. Hit up on IG and on YouTube, okay? All that being said, I thank you guys. I love you guys. Oh my gosh, I just love you for all your support for the show. And until next week, peace.
Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Livin, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chroniclesoflivin.com. Until next time, this is ADionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.